What up, everybody? It's Ipadbeatmaking.com here today on Friday, January 8th, 2021, giving you some news you can use. Please hit the like button if you enjoy this video, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, updates, beats, and more. Now, before we begin, please be aware that this episode will feature commentary and jokes that may or may not be offensive to you or your views, so if you feel like you want your iOS news only, please use the timestamps or turn off the video to avoid your ears bleeding and your eyes melting. We'll give you 5 seconds to figure it out. Now, the movie industry has been going through a particularly tough time due to C-19, and it doesn't look like it'll get any better anytime soon. Movie theaters are obviously the hardest hit, and box office numbers have steeply declined. This has led to companies like Warner and Disney releasing what would normally be theatrical releases on platforms such as HBO Max and Disney+, which has led to its own degree of disappointment from the viewers due to movies like Wonder Woman 84 not quite lining up with their expectations. Due to the lack of entertainment currently available, a new trend has started called Match That Movie, where people have taken to reenacting The Purge and this Gerard Butler movie.
This is Sparta!
No, not that one.
I'm going to bring the whole system down on your head.
No, come on, not that one.
Give me the Pentagon on the line now.
Olympus is falling. Olympus is falling.
I want to speak for the Russians, the Chinese, the British, and the French, in that order.
Is this the same guy that was removed from the president's detail?
Can we trust him? I'm the best hope you've got.
The United States of America doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
There we go. And while trying to win an Oscar, they mirrored a scene that could be set in Gotham, done with more suspense than the Joker in The Dark Knight.
We take Gotham from the corrupt, the rich, the oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity, and we give it back to you, the people. We the people! Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please. But start by storming Blackgate and freeing the oppressed!
Our reenactors can be seen sitting in chairs usually sat in only by elected officials while doing official business, complete with feet sat up on the desk, and they even left footnotes. Get it? Footnotes? Okay. And it's an interesting role reversal because this is usually a group that promotes law and order, support for our troops, and they contradicted those sentiments wholeheartedly. People could be seen brandishing American flags while simultaneously fighting American law enforcement to burst through an American institution that contained American lawmakers that represent a pillar of the proud American way of life. Realizing our actors truly believe the world's a stage and not wanting the general public to become extras in this movie reenactment, curfews were set, lines were drawn, and proclamations were made inside and outside of the Capitol building.
Now we're going to finish exactly what we started. We'll complete the process the right way. Criminal behavior will never dominate the United States Congress. This institution is resilient. Our democratic republic is strong. The American people deserve nothing less.
Needless to say, things eventually carried on as expected, but it was very nice to see that law enforcement were also fans of the actors and even posed for an iconic selfie. A picture truly is worth 1,000 words. But, like I said, they were just doing movie reenactments, so not to worry, everything is going to be fine, and we will get through these crazy events stronger and more resilient than ever, regardless of what your views are. And not to be outdone by 2020, 2021 has started its own wave of unfortunate situation, with one of the first being that Dr. Dre was hospitalized with a brain aneurysm. Now, one wouldn't blame you for speculating that the intense divorce he's going through with his wife, who wants $2 million a month in alimony, could have contributed to this very unfortunate scenario. But thankfully, Dr. Dre posted online that he's been getting A1 treatment and the situation seems to be improving. But in an alarming plot twist, following the trend that no ground or person or house is sacred, an attempted burglary was made on his home shortly after he got to the hospital. Thankfully, it seems that nothing was stolen, but part of me hopes that someone at the hospital shows him that he can make incredible music on his iPad or iPhone, and that he himself takes up some iPad beat making. And speaking of iPad beat making, let's get to the apps. Now, Caleb Audio has recently released a new app called Schlap and Quote. Schlap is a characterful, colorful, and aggressive sounding program-dependent AUV3. It takes inspiration from hardware RMS compressors of the past and evolves them into a modern setting. If you want your tracks to be energetic, in your face, and bold, make them Schlap. The compressor uses program-dependent attack and release influenced by old hardware, which makes the compression sound characterful and dynamic. The RMS detection means that Schlap detects the average loudness of a signal, resulting in sudden short peaks being uncompressed so that they can attack hard and sound heavy-hitting. Also, inherently in RMS detection is a slight delay in compression, which allows the initial, early transients to sneak through uncompressed so they keep their punch. Sounds very, very cool. If you've checked it out, be sure to let us know what you think. Is it worth grabbing? It's currently on sale at 33% off for the first 2 weeks of January, so yeah, be sure to check that out. And unfortunately, the bad news continues in the app world because many users who are updated to iOS 14 are experiencing issues with the Roli Noise app for iOS. One user said, it can be loaded in AUM, but is not responsive, so it is not possible to select any sounds. And they're currently running iOS 14.3 on an iPad Pro 12.9. They made a support request and got this answer from Roli. Quote, thanks for your email. Unfortunately, due to shifts in our team, we have struggled to maintain noise, and I'm really sorry about that. I know the product team is aware of the issues and they are exploring possible solutions, so I will pass along this feedback as well. Thanks for taking the time to share it, and wishing you and your loved ones all the best in these extraordinary times. End quote. Now that is an incredibly disappointing scenario because many people, including us, have spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on Roli equipment and their in-app purchases, and the least you would expect such a prominent music company to do is to keep their apps and equipment usable on a platform that they're still actively selling to. So what's been your experience using the Roli Noise app on iOS 14? Let us know down in the comments section, and be sure to let the Roli team know as well, so we can hopefully get the updates and support that we deserve. Speaking of which, let's move on to the updates so that they can see how it's really done. First off, we've got Drambo, which has been updated to version 1.31, and they've added a MIDI mixer module with mute buttons, MIDI pitch bend generator / modifier module, support for MIDI program change messages, XY pad module, AD and ADSR envelope modules, and more. And they fixed MIDI learn window didn't show keyboard type, MIDI audio unit module mute didn't work, and much more. So be sure to check out that update if you are a Drambo user. Elliott Garage has updated Formint or Forminte, I don't know how you say this, to version 2.0, and this includes performance and UI improvements as well as minor bug fixes. Now Chord AI has been updated to 1.71, and this features bug fixes and stability improvements. Decent Samples has been updated, and they have improved the My Samples tab so that you can remove sample libraries. Tone Boosters has updated their suite of plugins, and these things vary. The Morphit, for instance, has new headphone profiles. The TB Dual VCF has a refreshed app icon and CPU optimization. The Tone Boosters Equalizer has improved undo action when deleting equalizer sections. And the Tone Booster compressor now features an upward compression mode as well as a refreshed icon, so there have been a lot of great updates with that suite of plugins. Now Tone Boosters, please add master and dynamic headphones to your more fit lineup so that I can get some proper headphone profiles for those headphones. I'd love to hear what they sound like using your plugin, so please hook us up. Now, Unique has been updated to version 1.5.7 and they fixed a pitch wheel bug. Schlap, which we just spoke on earlier, has already got an update, and they fixed audio glitches and filters when variable buffer sizes were used. And Nembrini has updated BST100 and MRH810 to version 2, and this features a new graphic user interface and power amp section sound improvements in both of those apps, so that's great news. New Rack has been updated to version 1.32, and they've added a new MIDI remap module. This can be used to map MIDI CC values and MIDI note on and off values from one channel to another or from one value to another, and they've also added other minor bug fixes. Now, Tonality has had a huge update to version 8.5, featuring the ability to add new scales to the default library, alternate scale names, ability to show all modes of a given scale. You can now tap the mode segment again to show all the modes rooted on the same note, filter scales by various tags, improve scale layout when viewing piano only. Chord pads have also drastically improved edit mode. You can view all the tools at once. Allow the editing of pads while they are in the strum mode, visual indication of individual strum options, quote-unquote jiggle mode, preserve custom labels, triggers, colors, and strum settings when using a new mode, for example a fretboard to edit an existing pad, improve preview playback when transposing, inverting, or adding bass notes to a pad, save last open preset in standalone, smoother drag reorder which works even on strum pads, and more. So be sure to check out Tonality if you have it. Tell me what you think of that update. Did they do what they needed to do on that? What more does this app need to add? It seems like they are thinking of everything. Be sure to let us know down in the comment section. And Model D has been updated to version 1.31, and they've added fixes for using Ableton Link on iOS 14. And when using the AUV3 plugin before launching the app at least once, it now shows you a warning message again instead of crashing. So it's a great update from them, tiny but mighty. And now let's move on to sales. We don't have many, but the ones we do have are pretty major, so let's check them out. IK Multimedia has finally put the Hammond B3X app on sale. It's gone from $129 to $64.99. So if you have been on the fence wanting that app, that organ, be sure to check it out at this reduced price. I don't think it's ever been this cheap before, so that's great news. Amplitude for iPad was $24.99. It's now down to $12.99. And Amplitude was also $24.99, and it's also down to $12.99. So be sure to check out those apps if they interest you. And what do you think this means? Do you think it means that an app is coming or an update is coming from the world of IK Multimedia? It seems like a weird sale to be having right now, right? What are they celebrating? So, something to make you think. Let us know what you think down in the comments section. And with that said, we're gonna get up out of here. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, tutorials, beats, etc., etc. And be sure to check out some of the best kits available for iOS at iPadbeatmaking.com. It's iPadbeatmaking.com. Peace.